Hello, I'm Tripwyre, and welcome back to my slow play of Dark Souls Remastered. We are now going to head up this hill and into the Undead Burg, the first real, I guess what you could call level or map of Dark Souls 1. Immediately you've got some obstacles in your way, several hollow soldiers. They like to jump, so be careful of that. A lot of them like to just take a little hop at you. I'm just using my R2. Again, if you learn the time, I don't know how my second swing didn't reach him. If you learn the timing of their attacks, pretty easy to just kill them. This one up on the corner here throws fire bombs. And obviously you're like, I want that item. It's glowing and on the ground, and I want it. But he is going to chuck fire bombs down at you based on your position, so be aware of that. What you can do is bait it and then move, grab it, and there you go. Or you can come up here and kill him first. The order I like to kill these guys in, though, is ignore him, kill this guy in the back before he becomes a problem, and then kill this guy. And the guy from the stairs is going to come down as well. Okay. So what happened there is he actually staggered me because technically his hitbox collided with mine as he was falling above me, so be careful of that. If an enemy is falling and hits you at all, it will stagger you. So also you may have noticed there's an item over there, and we can get to it by jumping, just be careful. Extremely precarious, but you just run on the sides of these, and we get a ring of sacrifice. Interesting item. The first ring. Mystical ring was created in a sacrificial rite of Velka, the goddess of sin. Its wearer will lose nothing upon death, but the ring breaks. So it's a one-time use ring. It allows you to die and keep your souls in humanity. Going back across. And up we go. Also, apologies if I sound tired or I'm clearing my throat a lot. My throat is very dry after the last two episodes. I've been recording for over an hour, all in the same sitting. It's now 1:53 in the morning on Saturday, and like I said, I just finished my first full week back at work, and I am very tired. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself today. I felt like this is when I wanted to do it. So we come up here into this reservoir, encounter a rat, and we get another soul item. Rats are a great source of humanity, by the way. A lot of the time that one will drop one for you. We were not so lucky. So here we go. This is the actual path that you're supposed to take into the Undead Burg. This is a gate here, but it is locked. One thing you're going to learn playing Souls games is that their level design is masterful, it's complexly woven, and the maps loop back on themselves a lot. But you have to make a certain amount of progress and unlock shortcuts for that to happen. Anytime you see a door that says it's locked, or doesn't open from the side, or it's sealed by some device, that's more of a Bloodborne term, I think. But it's because you haven't unlocked the shortcut yet. But when you do, it'll be nice and convenient. Got a couple more hollows up here. Let's take them out real quick. And we see a fog gate there. Fog gates tend to inspire fear in the player because they've been conditioned. Why am I not locked on? I don't know what I'm doing. And there's also a hollow in the door to our left, though there's nothing else for us here. Just a broken staircase we can't climb. Fog gates inspire fear in players because they associate them with bosses, but they don't always lead to bosses. They sometimes lead to new areas. Before we go through there, though, sneakily hidden lower section past these barrels. You drop down, we get another item, and if you look carefully, you can see some hollows hanging out, waiting to ambush us. Again, this game rewards careful observation. There's another ambush on the other side. 4 of them this time. This game rewards careful observation and paying attention, being cautious. So we drop down and they immediately come up. They don't even wait. So, okay, yeah, I was like, can they hit me from here? They sure fucking can. I think I ran away. There he is. That one was like, his pathing was like, I can't get to him. Well, dude, I'm clanking off of everything. This is not a good weapon to be using in the Undead Burg, I guess. Before we go down that path, there's a little side room here. It's the only way to get to this item. You guys hear that? Hollow took a swing at me. Hollow just dropped down. There you are. Where in the fuck did you come from? Like, where actually were you? Were you up above? I mean, you dropped down from something. This leads to a dead end. But you drop down from here, and looking this way, it's kind of easy to miss this little room. So we're going to go across, and remember that ambush is waiting for us. One thing I could try to do is, like, firebomb them. Yeah, I got one. It just falls. I'm not going to be able to reach them all, though, obviously. But just knowing they're there is helpful. Hit their fingers, they just fall. And obviously these are like the base hollows, they're not even hollow warriors, so they're very weak. And here's the item that was on the ground already. Rubbish. Rubbish has no value. Who in the right mind would bother carrying this around? Perhaps you need help. Fuck you, Dark Souls, it's not very nice. And in order to get back to where we were, you climb up this ladder. We are rewarded with yet another item. Maybe one that will have some value this time. Another humanity, perfect. And then you drop down here. This is where we came up. And there's the fog door, so let's go through there now. So it says rubbish has no value. It does have a use, though, that we can do later on in the game. Another soul. And here's a good little spook part for you. Hello. The hellkite Drake makes his first appearance. If you're sprinting and you get too close to that, the impact of him landing staggers you. That's why I saw him and then immediately turned around. That attack combo can be pretty deadly for a new player. Okay. The whole clankety clank with the hand axe R2 there is making me sad. Got Hollow Warrior armor drop from that guy. See, look at that leap. That is some bullshit right there. I mean, I was prepared for it, but new players aren't going to be prepared for that. The distance they cover is crazy. Hey, we got a wooden shield. The wooden shield is obviously going to be better than the cracked round shield. I guess we'll go ahead and swap it out. I'm not like I'm using my shield. It's on my back. Alright, and there is a bonfire. A beautiful sight for anybody new to the game. Anytime you get a new checkpoint, it's a wonderful thing. I forgot to mention this mechanic with bonfires, though. It is a checkpoint, but it's also a reset. You rest at a bonfire, your stuff resets. You get your Estus back, your health back, but enemies respawn. So that guy I just killed, he's back. All the guys below are back. So you got to keep that in mind. It's a kind of a pros and cons thing. Also, I didn't go back to 10 Estus flasks because remember, default bonfires start at 5 Estus, and this one hasn't been kindled. There's no bonfire keeper, so I didn't go up to 10 Estus flasks. That being said, I also am not penalized. It doesn't take you manually back down to 5. I just haven't used the extras all the way down, back down to 5. So we'll go ahead and re-kill this guy. And this guy. And this guy that aggroed and is coming up the steps. Come here. Alright. You as well. Alright, and now we're going to turn attention this way. We've got 2 of these spear and shield guys. These guys are assholes, which is where the kick comes into play. Kick them to break their guard, and then punish. Otherwise, they can block your attacks quite effectively and then hit you with the spear. Alright, cool. These boxes hide a little stairwell. That will bring us to a vendor. There's also an ambush here. It's just one guy. Bye-bye. So we come out here, we get a little vendor. He's the undead merchant.
Well now, you seem to have your wits about you, hmm? Then you are a welcome customer. I trade for souls. Everything's for sale.
Again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time just like exhausting NPC dialogue in this playthrough because this isn't meant to be a lore-heavy series. It's meant to just show, here's the game, here's how you accomplish certain things. Maybe it'll make it easier for new players. I hope it helps you, type of thing. The lore and the story behind all these characters and stuff is great. I recommend if you're playing it to exhaust NPC dialogue and also to watch lore videos and get into it. It's awesome. but I'm not going to be doing that because that'll just take forever. So he sells repair powder. Durability is really generous in Dark Souls 1. I don't really feel like this has ever been that necessary. Throwing knife, consumable, fire bombs, more Lord's talismans. Dried finger, I don't remember what this does. Online play item, no wonder. Strengthen connection to other worlds, allowing the summoning of a third phantom, but also a second dark spirit. Okay, so if you want to play with multiple friends. More online items. So, the residence key opens residences in an undead burg. You might think this is useless because we took the master key as our gift. But this actually opens doors, like there's some overlap, but this also opens doors that are not accessible with the master key, so we're going to go ahead and buy it. Then he's got some basic weaponry. If you didn't choose a starting class that has a bow, this is your first opportunity to get one. Different shields, some ammo for the bow, and then the chain set. Until the DLC, this is the only place you can get the chain armor. We are going to use some of our consumable soul items and buy the bow, because it's just useful to have a bow. So I got 1,200 souls, means those ones were 400 each. So let's go ahead and buy the short bow, and we'll buy 107 arrows with the rest of my souls.
Oh.
Goodbye. Alright, so we'll go rest of that bonfire again. Actually, there's not really any reason for us to do that, so I won't. We'll just head this way. So this is the way forward. If you look up, or even if you don't look up, you're going to notice this, you know, when fire explodes next to you. You got some firebomb throwing hollow soldiers up there. You stand here, I don't think they can hit you. They hit the wall. If you stand next to that wall, it will hurt you. But if you hug the right wall, it's not going to hurt you. This room has 2 hollows, and then one more comes out of the door to your left. So try to take these guys out quickly before this guy gets through. He has to open the door, so I got a backstab going. There you go. Fuck you. This gate does not open from this side. Another shortcut you can get later on. And then a little side room with a hollow. And this is Dark Souls. You know what's right around this corner? Another hollow. Just be aware. Check your corners. And up through here we got a chest. Now, if you guys have ever played other medieval RPGs, Dungeons and Dragons, or whatever, you might be familiar with the concept of mimics. There are mimics in this game. They're very dangerous. Some of the chests are mimics, and if you try to open them, they'll eat you, and you will probably die. But there's a way to tell if it's a mimic or not. Well, one way is that you can watch the chest for a little while and see if it's breathing, because you can actually see the mimics breathe, but that takes a while because the movements are very slow. The quick way is to look at the chain next to the chest, and it's kind of unfortunate the way these planks landed because they're covering it a little bit, but basically the chain will curl back in this little semicircle here towards itself if it's a regular chest, whereas it'll be more like pointing in a straight line if it's a mimic. Mimics aren't introduced until you've rung both Bells of Awakening anyway, so it'll be a while till you encounter your first one. The item we grabbed was black fire bombs. Black fire bombs are fire bombs, but stronger. That's all there is to it. So we're gonna go ahead and kill this guy. Man, the walls here are not good for this weapon. Got some fireballs going. Okay, cool. He hit me. I did not hit him. Bummer. And a battle axe. We're getting pretty lucky with drops so far. So if you turn right around, you can climb up this ladder and take out these assholes who were throwing firebombs at you just a moment before. This guy's always going to throw right into that, that post, so wait for him to throw and then kill him. Now we'll head back, and here is tower. We just saw there's another crossbow hollow up there, and here's a door that you can unlock with either the residence key or the master key. See, it says use residence key, but I would have been able to unlock that door regardless because I have the master key. That is one of the overlap doors. And we have another chest. As you can see, the chain is curled. And again, no chests this early in the game are mimics. Gold pine resin. Very important item. Gold pine resin. Rare pine resin which emits golden sparks, applies lightning to right-hand weapon. Affected weapon inflicts rare lightning damage, making it effective against targets which are resilient to both magic and fire. Very effective against dragon family foes. So, weapon buffs are very important. Again, it's not a thing the game goes out of its way to teach you. You just kind of have to read the item descriptions. And it's, again, another one of those things that really would have helped me out if I had known about it sooner. Weapon buffs can be make or break in certain encounters, such as the boss fight preceding the first Bell of Awakening. Many enemies in the game are weak to lightning. You only get 3 out of that chest, which is not a lot, and... why am I not kicking? Hello. Which is not a lot, and you have to get decently far into the game before you get other sources of gold pine resins. Other pine resins you can buy earlier in the game. So now we've got a staircase leading up, and if you notice, there's a hollow with a barrel up there. Kind of familiar, right? Kind of like the rolling stone ball. You can come down here, and there's an intimidating looking knight guarding an item. I've played this game a lot, so I should be able to take this guy out. Please don't judge me if I don't do a good job. That didn't hit him this early in the game, even for me. Black Knights are strong. Black Knights are a strong enemy. They have awesome weapons. Getting a Black Knight weapon drop would be cool. I don't think it's going to happen yet. That second fireball keeps staggering him, which is really nice. Jumping attack. He put up his shield. Jumping attack. Ow. Not bad at all. We got a Titanite chunk. So, remember I showed you this section? Upgrade materials. A Titanite chunk is an upgrade material that you don't need until you've upgraded your weapon quite a bit. So, that's like a mid to late game upgrade material, which should tell you that Black Knights are a tough enemy that you'll encounter a lot more of later on. So fighting this one early is very ambitious for a new player. I wouldn't recommend it. And we get the blue tearstone ring. Sorry. Boosts defense while HP is low. No reason not to equip that. We've got nothing in the slots right now, might as well. Alright. We're gonna head on up here. So there's a cool little trick that if you get the timing right, you can dodge right through this barrel. Oh, I just missed it. If you do a jump, like a sprint jump, at the right time, you'll go through that barrel without taking any damage. This door, I believe, can be opened with the master key. Yep. However, if you're a new player especially, you don't want to go down there right now. There's a very strong NPC that will murder you in one hit. No joke. So instead we're going to go up 2 flights of stairs. And here is a fog gate. In this case, this one does indicate a boss fight. But first, turn around and look at these barrels. There is an NPC type in these barrels that's very important. It's called a crystal lizard. It's useful because they're weak. You kill them and they drop rare upgrade materials, but you have to kill them quickly because if you don't, they'll run away and disappear. So what I like to do is dodge into these barrels, immediately target the crystal lizard, and he's going to drop down, so then you do a plunging attack on him like this. Just like that. 2 Twinkling Titanite. Twinkling Titanite is used to upgrade like special weapons and armor. So, this is the bridge where you're going to fight the Taurus demon boss. And as you can hear, I'm already being shot at from somewhere. Aha. As a little added wrinkle, there are a couple of asshole hollows up there shooting at you, so you want to take them out first. Also, fun fact, I tried Dark Souls twice before being gifted the remaster by Rob, and both times I rage quit at this boss. Silly to think about now, it's not that hard of a boss. I just was impatient, and I don't know. This actually gives you a really nice view of the Undead Burg. So down there is where I just was. That tower in the middle is where I killed the archer. Behind it is where the firebomb throwing dicks were. You can see the little platform where I picked up. It's not rendering the chest, but it's where I picked up the pine resin. But yeah, I rage quitted this boss twice. It's not. If you're new to these games, it's not that easy. But again, I'm going to show you a way to make it easier. One way you can make it easier is by using a pine resin here. They are weak to... the Taurus demon is weak to lightning. Not as much as some other bosses, but you can if you want. However, a new player is just going to use a weapon buff and then die, right? So it's not really worth it. But... hey, look, there's a tower. This look familiar? Just like the Asylum Demon, right? You could do a plunging attack. However, this guy will come up here if you wait too long. And he will slam that big old hammer like that. And if you're stuck there, it's going to hurt you. But if you come down the ladder a little bit, you'll avoid the hit, and he'll jump back down. So now, if you wanted to, you could just throw firebombs down at him and cheese him. The black firebombs do even more damage. It's possible that you don't even have to really fight him. If you want to be cheesy about it, go for it. I'm not going to judge, I don't care. If you want to do it quote-unquote legit, you can plunging attack him and take a big chunk off his health. The legit way is to fight him normally and learn his moves, but hey, everybody has got to start somewhere, right? So now I'm going to go through his legs and get to relative safety. You don't want to be cornered by this guy. He's got a hitbox on his legs as well. He can hurt you just by like making contact with you. So I dodge rolled out of that. So that hammer hurts a lot, but he telegraphs fairly easily. There is a shockwave after his attack lands that you don't want to get hit by, so like for a fraction of a second after the hammer plants, you don't want to be there either. Okay, I hit the dodge button like a quarter of a second too late there. I was going to dodge roll through it. But see, just knowing the range his attacks have make it easy for me to back out of it and then heal. Yeah, this is where I rage quit. Looking back, it's fucking crazy. I've played Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, and Bloodborne, and I'm working on Sekiro right now, and holy fuck, I'm also so excited for Demon Souls Remastered, or the remake on PS5. This is my second favorite game of all time. Like, holy shit. Giving these games a chance was one of the best things I ever did. Shout out to Rob. Boom, right in the dick. So as always, we get a humanity for killing the boss, and homeward bone. That's nice. Plus 3,000 souls. And moving on. So the Taurus demon, you just gotta be careful. Learn to dodge at the right time. And be careful of the shockwave and the hitbox on his legs. And if you're really struggling, climb the tower. Just make sure you're not up there when he slams the hammer down when he jumps. And, you know, do what you have to do. You can see a glow coming from behind these boxes, so... hey, look, an item. And then down these stairs we'll go. So now, this next part's kind of mean. Because it comes right after a boss fight, and you're thinking as a new player, shit, dude, I've got 5,000 souls on me, and I don't have a new checkpoint. If I die, I'm going right back to that old bonfire before all this nonsense. But first things first, ignore this bridge and turn to the right. First, you get this nice view. But you'll also notice there's a dude down there. And not just any dude, a very important dude. He's a very important dude to the Souls community. You've probably heard this guy referenced even if you've never played these games, because this is Solaire. And he's the one who likes to praise the sun, which is why he's staring at it. I don't know how his retinas haven't melted. But, let's talk to him.
Ah, hello. You don't look hollow, far from it. I am Solaire of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, to seek my very own son. You find that strange? Well, you should. No need to hide your reaction. I get that look all the time. Oh, aha. So I didn't scare you. I have a proposition, if you have a moment.
Of course, Solaire, anything for you.
The way I see it, our fates appear to be intertwined. In a land brimming with hollows, could that really be mere chance? So what do you say? Why not help one another on this lonely journey?
I'm going to say yes, and I recommend that you do too.
This pleases me greatly. Well then, take this.
So he has given us the white sign soapstone.
We are amidst strange beings in a strange land. The flow of time itself is convoluted, with heroes centuries old phasing in and out. The very fabric wavers, and relations shift and obscure. There's no telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in contact. But use this to summon one another as spirits, cross the gaps between the worlds, and engage in jolly cooperation. Of course, we are not the only ones engaged in this, but I am a warrior of the sun. Spot my summon signature easily by its brilliant aura. If you miss it, you must be blind.
So this is also very important, also very easy to miss for a new player. You might not even realize he's down here. You might not pay attention to the dialogue. You might not realize that this is used to leave a summon sign. So it's about summoning for help. So basically he just straight up tells you, we can participate in jolly cooperation. I will help you if you summon me, so look out for my summon sign. And remember earlier I told you that aspects of the gameplay changes when you're human. You don't see summon signs on the ground if you're hollow. So you have to reverse hollowing and become in your human form in order to summon stuff. If you summon for a co-op and die, you go back to being hollow, and if you want to summon again, you have to use it up for another humanity. So look out for his summon sign and he'll aid us in battle. So it's very important that you come down and talk to him if you're struggling with some of the bosses in this game, because you can summon him and he'll help you.
Oh, hello there. I will stay behind to gaze at the sun. The sun is a wondrous body, like a magnificent father. If only I could be so grossly incandescent.
Cool, so we met Solaire, very important. He, like many of the other characters in this game, has his own quest line that you can follow along with, make some decisions, and see what happens. There are multiple different outcomes. Now, this is a mean thing to do to a new player. Like I said, paying attention is very, very beneficial in these games. Observation is rewarded. And if you observe, there are some dark spots on this bridge here. And those dark spots are scorch marks. You can also see, I guess you can see like little bits of ash flying around. But remember that hellkite Drake I referenced? This is where you're going to encounter him next, if you triggered him before. And he will fuck your shit up, because he breathes fire, as you might imagine. And you haven't gotten another checkpoint yet. So as a new player, this part can be very frustrating. But if you're paying attention, you might be expecting it. So all you got to do is come out to this point, and then turn back around and run away. He's going to breathe fire on the entire fucking bridge, killing the hollows that are on there, and then he's going to alight on the far side. However, he doesn't attack all the time, or he's not going to attack right now. And so you can keep running if you want to, but there is a big old fucking Drake up there and two hollows, so your instinct might be to come down here, and that is the correct thing to do. You can go there if you want to, but I wouldn't recommend it. Instead, come down here, and you'll find yourself in the room above the bonfire, which is our last checkpoint. And hey, look! We've unlocked a shortcut. You kick the ladder, this becomes the same old checkpoint, but also a new checkpoint in a way. We can rest, we can level up. Let's go ahead and kick up our HP, our endurance. We'll do HP twice. We're going to go one more point of dex, a point in strength, and one more endurance. Alright, so we now are soul level 11. And we can pick up right where we left off and head back up this ladder. And before we wrap up this episode, I'm going to show you how to deal with the hellkite Drake, because he's a dick. And just trying to run it and hope for the best and hope he doesn't kill you with his dragon fire is a crapshoot. So immediately come up here and run across. He's going to breathe fire after you rested at the bonfire when you come back up here, so you want to be safe. The hollows are dead, but if you go back out... Bro. Yeah, okay. If you go back out, he's going to breathe fire again. He doesn't always have the same attacks. So this time he's flying and doing a fire breath attack. So he has a variety of like ways he can breathe fire. They're not all the same. They don't all damage you the same. Sometimes you're going to get straight up one hit by his fire, no joke. Sometimes you won't. Sometimes you'll get hit by the fire, it'll knock you over, but by the time you stand back up, there's still fire on the bridge, and it'll hit you a second time, and you'll die. So the way to handle it is to just stand here until he hops down, just like that. Immediately run past him. And here's your next bonfire. Light it up real quick. So this time he flew back up above. Sometimes he'll turn around. Alright, he's leaving now. So now he is gone until you trigger him at the far end of the bridge again, like later on. We don't have to worry about him anymore. However, he might turn around and try to breathe fire into this room, in which case you can quickly light the bonfire and rest at it, because resting, remember, resets all enemies. Or you can run in here and run out this way. So he won't be able to hurt you when you're over here, and these guys are neutral. Either way, we've got our bonfire. We've got the items on the bridge, and no hollows to stop us from picking them up. This item is the claymore. Very useful sword. It's the sword I used all the way through the final boss on my first playthrough. Great quality weapon. Remember, quality being both strength and dex. And this is the way we go next. So we'll open that up. Also, I forgot to talk about scaling of weapons, so let's use the claymore as an example. Toggle the display by pressing X. And here you see it's doing 103 physical damage base, and then it gets plus 26. The 26 extra damage is coming from our stat scaling. Below that, you'll see it says param bonus. That symbol on the left is strength, and it gets a C scaling rating. The next one is dexterity, and it gets a C strength rate, or a C rating as well. Over on the right, you get the requirements. We are required to have 16 strength and 10 dex to wield it. However, if I try to wield it, it says insufficient strength to wield it with one hand. Hold with both. So, you'll see the X. If I try to swing it, it fucking sucks. Because I'm not strong enough to wield it in one hand. But just because I don't meet the strength requirement, doesn't mean I can't still use it as long as I two-hand it. But now, there you go. So anyway, the claymore has C ratings for both stats. So it's a quality weapon. It scales evenly with either stat type. So you're going to get bonus damage on the top of the base damage of this weapon every single time you put a point into strength or dexterity. So that's how scaling works. Just look down here for how well it scales, and look on the right side for the requirements to wield it in the first place. I think we're going to stick with it for now, because honestly it's going to do a lot better for us than the hand axe, because the hand axe kind of sucked. So we're just going to go ahead and unequip the wooden shield. We're not using it anyway. So, that's going to do it for my playthrough of Dark Souls 1, or the slow play, whatever. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.